Welcome to session 5 of our intern toolkit sessions. Today, we're going to dive into what it means to be curious. So as we talk about today's session, we're going to really help you think about how can you demonstrate your willingness and desire to continue to learn and to grow. And what does that look like? So here we go. I want to share a new tool with you before we start talking about what it looks like to be curious. This tool that says gap versus game. If you look in the middle of the tool, it says your current reality. All of us are at a specific place in our lives, and we're all on a journey to grow and to learn and to be better. And I want to encourage you to think about your past wins to help motivate you and to understand your potential. Oftentimes, what we do instead is we look at where we are now and we have an unrealistic or idealistic view of where we want to be. If we continue to, and many times that involves comparing ourselves to others. And instead of looking at our own strengths, our own wins, we start looking at this ideal future of what other people accomplish, what other people do. And that leads to a place of frustration, and it can lead to anxiety and just us not being motivated to be who we are. So when we talk about being curious and growing, it is a natural process for all of us. What I hope that this tool does for you is gives you some motivation to think back about the wins that you've had in your life and allow those wins to motivate you to the next wins. What are the things that are in your future to help you really set some realistic goals, not be focused on an idealistic something that someone else has accomplished or someone else has done that may not be part of your future. So, as part of your journaling exercises through this internship, take some time, go back, think about all of the times that you were in school. Go back even to middle school, high school, college. Think about those accomplishments, the things that you did. Write down three of those events that happened or three scenarios where you really felt like you accomplished something, and reflect on how did you get there, and then use that to motivate you to go, okay, now where do I want to go in the future? Not looking at others, but looking at yourself. So, as we think about being curious, obviously our growth and our progress is tied up in that willingness to learn. So, Jessica, talk to us about what it looks like for you to be curious and have that mindset of wanting to learn.
So as I mentioned in one of the earlier sessions, the posture I have is I don't know what I don't know. And using that framework and that thought process, I'm always willing to learn something new. I'm always willing to try something new. And I have learned that I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna try something and I'm gonna learn as I go. And so that's really where it has to start, is that your willingness to learn something new, do something that might be a little nerve-wracking at first, and just make sure that you think through things thoughtfully. I would encourage you to take notes, if you're in meetings or if you're planning a project, write things down. Be very intentional with your thinking. It helps me to write things down to get all my thoughts out so that I can communicate effectively. And just make sure that you are clarifying the expectations and that as you're learning, you can do a follow-up email, you can do phone calls, and you can just be like, "Hey, how can I improve this? What can I do better?" And so it's just a constant conversation that you have with your team, your direct report, whoever it might be, as you are learning to learn. And again, put your phone away. So that's something that we we've discussed. And then just make sure that in those conversations, you don't walk in dominating the conversations. It's very important for you to, even when you are the one that's taking on that leadership and taking on that project, whatever it might be, you aren't dominating the conversations and you are truly listening to what the client needs, what the team lead needs, whoever it might be. You want to make sure that you are known as a listener, not a talker.
Good. And one thing I would add to that is just when you're clear, if you don't understand something in the process of learning, do not hesitate to ask for the expectations or the explanation to be clarified for you. There's nothing wrong with saying, hey, I don't quite understand. Can you help me understand? Because you want to make sure that you are doing those things so that you can show that you truly are wanting to learn. Jessica talked about those things. And then also, here are those questions again. Remember to build your resume through this process and you make the most of every opportunity you have. Jessica said at the beginning of one of our sessions, she saw everything as a test. And again, hopefully that is a mindset that you're running through your head that every day during your internship, it's a test. And how are we going to pass that test? So continue to journal. We will see you on our next session. Have a great day.